motorsport and motoring radio show, now on 88.5 FM, The Valley Comes Alive, and podcasting across iTunes and talkandpower.com.au.
Welcome back to Talk and Power for episode 224. I'm your host, Michelle Morrison, and joining me as always are my co-hosts Nick DeCimbre and Simon Gonzo Travellini.
Hi, Michelle.
Hello. Very well. Well, we've got a jam-packed episode this week. Bathurst, NDRC, Spring Nationals, NASCAR, MotoGP, Formula One, and a little drag racing drama, so buckle up. Starting off with some news headlines in the Bathurst 1000 results. Matt Payne and Garth Tander from Penrite Racing in the Ford Mustang took the win, with second place going to David Reynolds and Lee Holdsworth for Tradie Beer Racing in their Chevrolet Camaro ZL1 Gen 3. And in third place, James Golding and David Russell from Premier Newlon Racing in their Chevrolet Camaro ZL1 Gen 3. NASCAR results from Las Vegas. In first place, Denny Hamlin, Joe Gibb Racing Toyota Camry. Second place, Carl Larson, Hendrick Motorsport Chevrolet Camaro. And in third place, Christopher Bell, Joe Gibb Racing Toyota Camry. Our SVG was out on lap 245. A multi-car incident occurred during a restart. SVG was tipped into a spin after contact involving Christopher Bell and Ty Gibbs. His car was damaged and he was knocked out of contention, ending what could have been a career best oval finish for him. Ram Trucks Australia, RTA, is about to move into a new facility in Melbourne South as the brand celebrates 10 years in the country. RTA says its new state-of-the-art facility in Dandenong will bring efficiencies to the remanufacturing process and aims to secure the future of Ram Trucks Australia and the employees who work in this skilled and specialised area of the local automotive industry. Ferrari has revealed its new flagship supercar, the 849 Testarossa, replacing the SF90 Stradale. It will make 1,050 horsepower from a hybrid V8 with 3 electric motors. The performance is 0 to 100 kilometres per hour in 2.3 seconds with a top speed of over 330 kilometres an hour. It will be available in Australia in 2007 for $940,000. Start saving.
2027.
2027.
Yeah, I think my volume's up a bit higher.
You are. Do you reckon one of those are coming to Perth, Simon?
Sure.
Oh, for sure.
For the Lee group?
For the Lee collection,
Yeah.
for sure.
I think the Simon's
We'll have
mates will
two.
have one as well.
The question's more so what colour will they
He'll get one of each colour.
paint it, wrap it?
You can't get a Testarossa in any other colour but red, surely.
You can't.
Wow.
You can,
You know,
but
when it's
would
made
you?
out of plastic, it doesn't really matter.
I don't know. Did you go? I saw this car. It's interesting.
Have you guys seen that Netflix movie, Something Driving in the Rain?
No.
That came out the weekend that the Nitro Nationals were supposed to hold.
Okay.
And it's called something like The Skill of Driving in the Rain.
Yeah,
and I
something-
was like, that's too...
Yeah, too close to home.
Yeah, I was
It's
like,
a little
too
bit, like, a bit emotional.
And
looking.
It has got nothing to do with driving in the rain.
the art of
The art of
driving in the rain.
correct,
And I
yes.
was like, not fair. I think is it a kids' movie?
Oh, that's what my wife said.
Yeah, I feel like it came up under the kids' profile.
Yeah.
And straight away to Luna and Cleo. I was like, no, shut it off.
Yeah,
We're not
I
watching
get
that. Well, we're stuck.
It is a
inside
really,
the
really good
Airbnb.
movie.
Is it?
Anyone? Yes, excellent movie. Anyone that's going to watch it, a couple of boxes of Kleenex, get them ready.
Well, just because you mentioned it, Simon, and I wasn't going to say anything, but last episode you mentioned that you were watching something on Netflix, which was the reason why you knew that there was a Paris in Texas.
Yes.
You want to tell us more about what that movie was about? Because I saw what that movie was about, and
Oh, I don't want to kill,
it was a complete
Spoiler alert.
rom-com chick flick.
Oh, nice.
Not what I thought would have been in your library, but okay.
What do you think is in my library?
Well, you got me set with Fall Guy. And I was like,
that's an awesome
Simon
movie
recommends
too.
good movies. So then, and I was like, what? It's basically like The Bachelor and Farmer Meets a Wife.
Yeah, but it's a comedy. It was a good movie, bud. You didn't enjoy it?
I think just the whole time I thought, what's Simon doing watching this? Anyway, we're getting off track. We've
Anyone
got a lot
seen?
to
Sorry, while we're
No,
talking
that's okay.
Netflix,
Bring it back.
Black Rabbit. Anyone
No.
seen? That's just come out on Netflix.
Is it good?
Do you like Jason Bateman? I love Jason Bateman.
Oh, yeah.
Love him.
There's a lot of Jasons that I like as actors.
He's the
Stratham.
We're the Millers. That's the one, right?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Jason.
And the coach, that's
he's,
the soccer one.
Ozark.
Oh, no, I was
Ozark,
thinking the
Jason
wrong guy.
Bateman.
Yes, he's good.
Remember Mallory from Family Ties? Mm-hmm. Her brother
Yeah.
in real life. He was Teen Wolf 2.
I saw a good movie with him in it recently as well, actually. The Carry On.
Anyway, Black
Yeah.
Rabbit, if you haven't seen it, it's okay. Very predictable in the end. It's only an 8 series. Jude Law's in it as well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen him for
They're
a
brothers.
while. Mm-hmm.
Jude Law and him are brothers. Interesting, but very predictable in the end. I was a bit disappointed with the end because I could see it coming. But anyway, if you've
Yeah.
got nothing to do, Black Rabbit on Netflix.
So that's how you spent your weekend? What else have you been up to?
The weekend. Linda and I went out Friday night.
Wow.
We went out to the WA Junior Football Awards night. It was a great night
He's finally taken her to dinner somewhere
We
nice.
did. We had dinner, and then after the awards, it was at Optus Stadium. Actually, it was a really good night. After all the awards, they had a DJ on the second level of Optus Stadium there, and overlooking the stadium, and we did some dancing as well.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was quite a good night actually.
Finish it off with a game of mini golf at the campfield.
No, we went old school, Simon. Michelle, you'd be happy to know we went
Ruby
old school.
room. No.
We went home in a taxi.
Oh, yeah,
Not
cool.
Uber. Everyone, we walked out, like there's 1,200 people at this event, and everyone's on their phones dialing up Ubers, and this one taxi drove down. I had Uber, I got rid of it, and Linda she's not very good with it either. I just went up to the guy, I said, mate, you got
You got a fare?
You got a fare? He goes, no.
No
And
fare.
I said, jumped in the taxi, and we were out of there while everyone else is still on their phones trying to dial up an Uber.
I'll tell you something about the Uber. If you get it on peak, it is like
Oh.
a quarter, if not less, the fare to get a normal taxi than it is to get an Uber.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous.
Yeah.
He was a really lovely guy, actually. He was from Sri Lanka, and he's out here.
He's one of the skilled workers that
he's
the
starting to be a
government's
nurse.
bringing in.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, he's taken a break. All right. He was a nice guy. He took us home nice and safe in his Volkswagen.
I think I met his
Passat.
cousin. He's working at the BP service station.
Simon. He was a nice guy. He was all right bloke. Anyway, it took us home. We had a magnificent night Friday night, the WAFC Junior Football Awards night. It was great.
Beautiful. So were the boys there?
No. It was just the boys actually dropped us off.
Yeah.
Then they went and got some dinner on their own, and then they went home. But I didn't want them to come and pick us up. I said it's all right, because we're coming home late.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Lovely.
You didn't want him to stay up and wait for you.
No, it's all right.
When you say late, Nick, like we
We
talking.
got home at midnight.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Wow.
It was midnight we got home. I thought I was pretty happy with that.
That's
effort.
pretty good.
So
And what about you, Simon? School holidays are all done and dusted? You survived? Boys are back?
tomorrow.
Oh, ours went back today.
Yeah,
Ours went back today, which I find that I'm
Tomorrow.
in a small amount that did.
Their school has changed a lot recently.
For better or for worse?
Well, their old headmaster, he was just a great guy, and he looked like he had nicotine stains on his fingers. Drove a black
Is that how
BMW
you-
135. Had a bit of a beer gut. Whenever
I
there
see
was
what a bad guy looks like, do you, Simon?
whenever there was welcome to country, he was kind of out there somewhere in the background. The new headmaster has gotten rid of all of middle management. She drives Yes, she drives a white Tesla. And it's a different school now.
Yeah.
And I think they may have had the day off today because they needed some sort of stress, retreat or something, or maybe they were sitting around singing Kumbaya. I'm not really sure.
Well, I think it's my daughter's school and the cluster around their school that has gone back to school today. But then we've got a pupil-free day in a couple of weeks' time, which no one else seems to have. So
They must have had theirs today. They're not.
What do they call it? PD Day, don't they call it PD?
yeah, it's it's pupil-free day or professional development day.
Professional.
Professional. There you go.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, PD. Let's call it PD Day.
Yeah.
We call
See,
it
that's
PD.
more in line with the white Tesla. Whereas the old headmaster would have gone, what do you mean? Let's go back to work.
Yeah, but
They
then
wanna
we've got
teach the
my school
kids.
2 weeks in and they feel like they need a break already.
They need a break.
Yeah, all the schools do it. I don't think you're alone there. But
Stagger them out. As long as they have the same amount of pupil-free days throughout each term, I think they just choose when it works best for them.
So we, aside from watching Bathurst, we stripped the hot rod,
Yes.
and today he went to the Chrome Platers
Hey.
and negotiated a deal. It wasn't a very good deal, but he negotiated a deal with the Chrome Plater.
I was going to ask you where you went, but I don't think I will now.
No, they do a fantastic job from what I can understand, from what I hear. But the chrome plating on that car cost more than most of the cars that I've owned in my life.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
It was, if my wife ever finds out exactly how much we spent on the chrome plating, I may not be married for very long.
or did you get the whole body done or something?
No. It was 21 items, I think. 24 items.
I can see how that racks up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that could be down to bolts.
Yes, no, you're 100%
You know,
right. There were
so-
2 nuts and 2 bolts in those items.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, there's going to be some of it. The roll bar is going to be a bit of work because chrome ollie's got, imperfections in it
Yeah.
when you polish it. So there'll be a bit of work there, and there's a bit of soda blasting to do because...
That's worth it getting done, though. You've seen Paul Ryan's front engine dragster? Chrome
Yeah,
chassis?
I think it's
looks so good.
It's going to look cool. Like,
Yeah, it
he's
looks
going to
awesome.
love it.
Yeah.
That's, hey, at the end of the day, if it makes him happy, then it's worth it. And then for something I haven't done for a very, very long time, I got up and I watched Bathurst from the 86 race all the way through till it looked like there was no chance that Ford was going to win. I went and tried to slice my wrists with a blunt razor. And then I saw some banter on the Talk and Power,
That group chat
Group
was
chat.
lit up like a Christmas tree yesterday.
and
wasn't it?
I watched the last 12 laps, sitting on the edge of the seat.
Well, let's get into that then, shall we?
We should, yeah.
So, as mentioning in the news, Matt Payne took out his first Bathurst win, teaming with the legendary Garth Tander, who now has 6 wins, tying him for 3rd on the all-time list.
Where does that put him? Like, I know it puts him 3rd, all right, sorry. But, like, if you were to, because Peter Brock and Jim Richards are ahead of him. Jim Richards on 7.
Yep.
He's not likely to win anymore. Peter Brock's 9. So, Garth Tander's, he's 43, 44 maybe, 45, around there. He's not young. But do you think he's got another, 3 wins in him?
Oh, I mean, it's whether someone's going to hire him.
Well, I think the Groves are keeping him on. It looks like they're keeping him on. So, and they'll pair him with Matthew again. And Matthew's got the talent, no doubt about
absolutely.
it. Friend of the podcast, Matthew, by the way. We've interviewed Matthew 2 years ago on the podcast. So, yeah.
Due to have him back.
Yeah, he was a great guy.
I got to tell you, I was devastated for Paul Brodie. He with all the parity issues that were going on earlier, for him to put that car on pole just shows you how skilled he was. And,
Should we talk about that then? We'll go to that now, the parity dispute. So we should probably... I felt that I think for the first time ever in this sport, and in the first time definitely in this new generation of supercar era, that the media or the people of the sport that run the sport were challenged. I feel like they were challenged, and they didn't like it.
No.
People like Mark Scaife, Mark Larkham, Chad Nayland. Not so much Chad. He's a good guy, Chad. But they were challenged, and I think, especially Mark Scaife, his words were he found it bewildering. Was Mark Scaife's comment.
So I just tried to throw something in there, right?
Give it some context.
I asked ChatGPT whether there was a parity issue or not, and at first, Chat said, "Well, a lot of people think there is, but there isn't." Basically, I'm paraphrasing, but that's kind of what it said. So then I said, "Do you think that potentially there could be some bias?" And it said, "No, a lot of people say that, but I don't think so." And then I said, "What about Scaife's involvement?" And it said, "Yeah, now that you mention it."
You're able to kind of just open ChatGPT's mind into thinking about it of a broader view. But for those that might have only just become a fan of Bathurst or the V8 supercars because of how exciting racing that we had on the weekend, do you want to contextualise what the parity issue is about? And
okay, so this is a very, very similar to the NHRA Pro Stock motorcycles, where you've got two totally different vehicles. You've got an inline four-cylinder versus a V-twin. So you've got the Coyote engine, which is a 5-litre multi-valve, multi-camshaft engine, and you've got the LS engine, which is a 2-valve, bigger engine. And what they've done is they've come up with this formula of different engine specifications and restrictions like the throttle body and so on. And I believe there's one company that does all the motors. Is that correct?
No, so DJR do the Ford and KRE do the Chev.
Yeah, okay, two companies, but one per...
Yeah, one per brand, yeah.
And they try and keep the torque and horsepower within this box, right? And all the motors are supposed to be the same. Now, DJR have been saying for quite a long time, there's been other parity issues. We saw the Aero, and it always seems to be around Bathurst when Ford thinks that they're going to sort it out, and then they go, after Bathurst, we'll sort it out. It always seems to be the way, because that's what happened with the Aero issue. They did the wind tunnel testing. They proved 100% that the Camaro had a massive advantage, and then at the 11th hour, they said, "Oh, no, we don't want to take those results. We want to see runway results." Right? Oh. So they did the runway testing and proved it. And then it was like, yeah, okay, fair enough. You guys do have a disadvantage. The Ford team does have a disadvantage. But we're going to wait until after Bathurst, the race that, it's most important at. Well, this is kind of the same thing. So DJR have been arguing that at higher altitudes, so above sea level, the engines are at a disadvantage. The Coyote engine is at a disadvantage, right? Which is weird, but that's, the way it worked out. Maybe because they've restricted it so much at sea level, it becomes a disadvantage when you're at higher altitude. So the supercars tested it in their own dyno. They simulated the barometric pressure that you would see at altitude, and they found that the Coyote engine was 10 horsepower down on the LS engine. So everyone was like, okay. Then they found how to fix it. So 1 mil bigger in the throttle body and a little bit of a change in the tune, and they could bring it back to parity with the LS. But then instead of implementing that, they decided that they would ask the teams what they thought. And of course the GM teams voted against it. Yep. Yeah. And the thing that why some people were really revved up about Mark Scaife's comments and other commentators' comments was because they were saying, well, look at how many Fords are on pole. There's four. Yeah. The first two rows are Fords. So, what are they whinging about? But when you saw them in the dry, on the straights, side by side, the Camaro, as it has in the past, just pulls away.
Yeah.
So that was the parity issue. Now, I'd just like to add that ChatGPT said that Scaife is leaving that because he's involved in this part of it next year. So the parity issue should be fixed.
Look, but
Do
that's,
you always ask ChatGPT for its references?
I'm curious what AI says. The Google AI is terrible. I believe that there's other AIs that you can, pay a subscription to that are better. But I think that if you want a slightly left of centre opinion, chat is the way to go.
Yeah.
And it's just curious because it will then go and look through the internet and come up with.
I think it's a blessing and a curse.
It is.
It's a blessing and a curse, but it's when I've used it ever at a time that then I want to make sure that sometimes you can just ask it about the questions of life that ponder through your brain in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll have ideas of inventions that I'll create. And does this exist? But if it's ever something that I need referencing that I'm going to repeat, I'll ask where
Check
it's got
the
its
facts.
sources from.
Yeah.
Because I've seen people ask how many R's are in strawberry, and it will come up saying 2. And then, like you said, you could say, "Are you sure?" Because when I counted, there was 3.
3,
and it's like,
exactly.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
So
it is very, what's the word? Doting. It is
you are a
very
clever
doting.
soul. You figured that out on your own. What do you need me for? Well, it's very interesting. I suppose I'm not sure whether this is a silly question. No questions are silly.
But the thing with these cars, though, is that they are so far removed from the production car that the bodies are, it's its own body. It kind of looks like a... They're basically how funny cars are to us in the touring car world or in the circuit racing world.
Yeah, I see what you mean, where it's just the shell that's been put on top.
But it's not even...
But not even the factory shell.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's...
I'm wondering why, for V8 supercars, for Bathurst, what used to be such a Ford versus Holden, why are they trying to make them so fair and equal?
Well, that's...
Like, why are they trying to make it? Because then it comes down to
the driver. Yeah.
But if we're still going...
Yeah, I see where...
Ford against Camaro, then why... Or Ford against Chevrolet, then why are we trying to make the engines the same? Otherwise, just give everyone the same engine.
Yeah, so the way you're looking at it...
for it all and
is
run
the
it
way,
under one.
It's the way I look at it now is where V8s are now, right? They shouldn't have any branding. It should just be a generic car.
If that's what they want to push it for, about being solely on driver skill, then yes. Otherwise... Who makes the best horsepower to handle the conditions that?
But Michelle, there is a
tracks?
whole cottage industry around those things now. You know what I mean? You couldn't just, because we used to argue all the time. They need to go back to production car racing like the old days, because then it really will be win on Sunday, sell on Monday, right?
Yes.
And the Bathurst 12-hour, the Bathurst 24-hour. There is still 24 hours.
Even
or
if
is it
they
gone?
don't
12.
go
It is
back,
a 12 hour.
Even if they don't go back to production standards levels, when we then look at how the smallest increments that we use in drag racing, these supercar teams could say, okay, this engine works the best under these altitude conditions. This one's the best working at lower sea level. Like, this one's the best for longer straights, less turns. They could tune up and set their engines.
They're not allowed to do that.
No, they're not allowed to do.
They can't do it now because
things,
it has to be so much. But why not open up the game and actually have it about? Look, it's not often. We've said how great it is that the NHRA are really promoting the drivers instead of the faces of the cars of the stars like they used to. But like now in V8s, I'm turning it back around saying, like, bring it back about the cars.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, why are you having these two different...
Well,
why are you bringing it into...
I think it's lost that connection for a long time.
Yeah.
You just may as well make them all the same.
See, if you...
And then solely focus it on drivers. and driver skill.
If you go back to
If they've all been given the same thing, there's always going to be a difference. There's got to be something. There always will be.
But we had a pretty good parity prior to this generation of supercar. We did have a pretty good parity. It's just that those cars got way too expensive. But now I would argue that these cars have become more expensive than what we previously had, and we still don't have what's deemed parity. That's the problem.
Yeah, but I just think it's pointless now. You know what I mean? I really enjoyed watching the racing, but it was more because I felt connected to these drivers, the current drivers, than I have for the last, 20 years.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, right.
I just, getting back to Brodie, I didn't feel he was treated very well. And Mark Scaife, here's the thing about Brodie, and, I think a lot of people haven't taken this into consideration. Brodie, out of all the drivers, would probably be the only one that's worked for KRE.
Yeah.
And now he's working for DJR.
Correct.
Now, guys, here's a newsflash for you, Mark Scaife and Mark Larkham. I think he has a pretty intimate knowledge of how to put those motors together.
And his background. His background, you know what I mean?
He's tuned chassis. All right, not maybe a supercar chassis, but he has tuned chassis, sprint car chassis. He's well known for that. He knows his way around a race car a lot more than a lot of the other drivers. And I was really disappointed with Chaz Mostert and Cam Waters during the press conference, because I don't think they went into bat for him. They left him high and dry there in the press conference. And, I just felt that those guys weren't on the camp. Now, Chaz Mostert, I kind of get it because they're going to Toyota next year, so he doesn't have couldn't really care about the Ford's parity issue, really, let's be honest.
No,
but Cam was just playing the supercar.
You can't argue with the dyno. The dyno is the dyno.
Yep.
Right? Just like the wind tunnel is the wind tunnel.
Yeah, but when he was challenged, and this is what I'm disappointed with, people like Mark Scaife shouldn't be challenging or calling Brodie bewildering. Those are his words, bewildering. The Sydney Morning Herald, or one of the newspapers, called him Mustang Salty. Play on Mustang Sally.
Yeah. Listen, their credibility, is not that good, especially in the alternative media. The amount of YouTube videos that I see calling out the Sydney Morning Herald, I think that newspaper's designed.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was them.
I was going to say, I think it's designed for kiddie litter.
It wasn't the sport's highest moment, and clearly, I mean, at DJR, Dr. Ryan Story has been running the show there. I think he's more of a PR sort of guy. So finally, they've got this driver in there that really doesn't care what people think of him, and is quite opinionated, and put forward his argument. And people like Mark Larkham and Mark Scaife, and Chad to a certain extent, their line of questioning got shot down pretty quickly.
Yeah, but like I said, they did it before with the aero package.
Yeah.
This is just standard V8 supercars. Now, you made a comment earlier on in the group chat about, well, where does this leave Toyota? Are they going to give Toyota the performance advantage?
Johnny asked that question, actually, but yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's obviously what's going to happen.
You would think so.
If you're a manufacturer and you want to get into V8 supercars, bring a big checkbook, and you won't have any parity issues.
Anyway, look, there's a couple of points that I made here. Things that I liked.
Penalty.
The penalty.
You want to talk about the penalty?
Does it fit the crime? Probably not. But I was happy to see Pete Zimeris get a podium spot.
Yeah.
That made me happy.
Yeah.
Do you think they should have won?
About 5 seconds, though.
Yeah, it should have been. It probably should have been 10, really.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, it was a bit of a dump and run. Cooper Murray. Anyway, look, it was consistent. Let's be honest, because Thomas Randall did the same thing earlier in the day. It was a 5-second penalty.
Yeah, right.
So Bairdy and his team, Craig Baird, did the right thing, and it was a consistent call. Yeah. So let's not, we won't delve too deep into that. But at that point of the race, I did feel for Cooper Murray and the Erebus team, I must be honest.
And
no one else did.
Dave Reynolds, he brought up in the press conference that it was about the later start time.
Yeah, so it was started later again. Every year it starts later and later, and I don't know what the idea of that is. But you saw at the end of the race, it was like it was fog. Was that fog or was it cloud rolling in on the mountain?
They could have started it.
Genuinely
It's
dark.
not ideal.
There was no reason. I mean, look,
6:40 it started,
Yeah, local time.
right? And
Yeah.
of course they've
finished
got
at 6:40.
finished at 6.
Oh, sorry, finishing at 6:40.
Yeah.
I did like watching the Murphy and Ambrose,
Yeah.
Thing. That was pretty cool. But they had an hour that they could have pulled out of that schedule that was really just a lot of crap. And that band, the Sydney Lyric Symphony, God, that was terrible.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Terrible.
See, I've written here things that I did not like. That was one of them. The late finish was another thing I didn't like. And if you're at Supercars or Channel 7 or wherever, the free-to-air, Foxtel, whoever it may be, who's in charge of the graphics, I know...
Yeah, that was terrible.
Can we just get to a point where we can have whoever's in the car, like a light next to them, but then their co-driver as well? Because... some of these new drivers, the co-drivers, I don't know who they've paired up with. All right, yes, I should know, but I didn't. And it's just been nice to know, all right, I know the key co-drivers, but some of the others I was like, oh, who's that guy with? I don't even know who he's with, I don't know who his pairing was. So if that could sort that, and I mean, these are first world problems, as they say.
But even when the drivers switched...
Yeah.
Brody was in that car for like 10 laps
I know,
before.
it still said Hazelwood.
Yeah,
I know, yeah. Anyway, that were some of the things that I didn't like. But some of the things I liked, I loved after the top 10 shootout. This is going to sound like we're big Brody fans, but Jill Johnson and Brody arm in arm walking back up to the pit bay. I thought that was awesome after the top 10 shootout. It was really such a simple moment, but quite reflective, and it's great to see. You don't see Dick much on the in the telecast. It was great to see Jilly, as they refer to her, with Brody arm in arm walking back up there. I think Brody has that appeal. Even with Betty, he had that appeal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think Betty felt like that was her son.
Yeah.
And I think Jill feels the same way.
Yeah.
He has that aura about him.
He's such a nice kid, Nick.
Yeah.
He really is. Nick, I'm just going to ask you, the Peter Brock Trophy, do you think that should have stayed with Betty when he left the team?
I thought you were going to say whether you... I thought you were going to ask whether cable ties were going to be...
No, I knew.
No, that was just...
I knew you were going to ask me this tonight, and I said, prepare yourself for an answer, and I didn't.
I'm just... Like, my understanding is that goes to the drivers, yeah?
Yeah.
It doesn't go to the team. So I don't understand why Betty had it anyway. I mean, Peter Brock was a driver. He was a team owner.
Yeah.
But it's not the HDT Memorial Trophy, is it?
Yeah. No, it's a good point.
Who made the decision?
Well, I don't think
he had one.
I
don't think Brody had a choice.
He probably, aside from holding it when he won.
He didn't leave Erebus on good terms. If you remember last year, he sat out the first 2 or 3 races.
Yeah, look, that's all speculative.
Yeah.
That's all speculative.
Well, he did sit out those races.
He did definitely sit there. But whether he left on good terms or not is another...
Yeah, well, I think in the end, they came together and they saw the year out. He won Bathurst. He won the
championship.
That was the previous year.
Yeah, but he won... That's it. Once you've done that.
Yeah, so he won the championship there, and he won the Bathurst there last year. How can we forget? In the Chico Roll
Absolutely.
Camaro.
100%. That's what I'm saying.
He's cost me a bit of money, Brody, over the last 2 years, because I had to go out, because it was Brody, I went out and bought the championship winning car.
Yeah.
That was, I think they're $300 now, those things, to tell my wife. And then I went, because when he won Bathurst, I said, wow, Linda, it's Brady.
Got to buy it.
I have a collection of Bathurst winners, but I don't always... If it's a Ford that wins Bathurst, so I'm up for another $300 this year. Matthew Payne. Johnny knows what I'm talking about, but because it was Brody, I felt obligated. I was like, well, it's one Bathurst. It would be wrong. It was Chico Roll as well.
Did you see
our favourite savoury?
Did you see the headline?
No.
Pleasure and pain.
No.
No, you haven't seen that.
It's a fine
No, I
line.
haven't seen that one, no.
Yeah.
God.
Well, shifting gears into drag racing, we ready to talk about
Yeah.
some NDRC?
Love to.
NDRC.
Okay, so the NDRC Spring Nationals at the Bend were held from October 3rd until the 5th. This was round 4 of the Andhra Regional Championship and the grand final for the PDRC Championship. It was a big weekend for Zoran Gadjic in Pro Mod Stock, Rob Durkert in Pro Stock. It was a big weekend for Zoran Gadjic in Pro Mod, Rob Deckert in Pro Stock and Luke Crowley in Pro Stock Motorcycle taking home the championship titles. We saw John Ricker set a new Australian Outlaw Pro Mod record, 5:40 with a 6 seconds at 436 kilometres an hour. Absolutely insane. And we also had a new Australian top speed record for Damien Harris and the Rapisada Autosport International team, running a 3:76 second pass at 330 mile an hour, which is 536.73 kilometres per hour. Together, Jim Reed Racing and Snap-on Tools partnered with the McGrath Foundation to ensure that no one faces breast cancer alone. The McGrath Cancer Care nurses help individuals and their families affected by cancer by providing invaluable physical, psychological and emotional support throughout their treatment. Snap-on set a bold fundraising goal, and 2 weeks into the current month, funds raised are $115,657. Unfortunately, Phil Reed, he did suffer an engine explosion in the first qualifying pass, which then concluded the rest of his racing for the weekend. But I just put a little note here of a statement that was made on their social media, which was really nice. I just wanted to read it out. In our first run yesterday at Dragway at the Bend, we had a fire and as a consequence suffered overwhelming damage to our car. The damage to the vehicle and to our team's morale is substantial, but we also understand that in the grander scheme of things, there are people in life who are battling breast cancer each day who face obstacles far more substantial than what we do in the pits tonight. We aren't sure when we can come back at the moment, but we do know that we dedicate our weekend to those who continue to fight the good fight against this evil disease. So I thought that was
It's a very
really
fitting statement, eh? Really, that's
really nice.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the final decision was that then made. They couldn't come out for any more runs, but I did hear that the seat was melted. The seat was completely melted, and they actually had a new one, but it was the wrong size, so they couldn't fit a new seat in. But it would have needed a lot of work. The fire was continuing on that car for quite some time.
Gee,
and it was,
that's a big fire.
yeah.
to melt the
Yeah.
seat. Yeah.
And the snap-on socket to breast cancer, or with the black and pink, it looked really great. It was a shame that they couldn't bring it out onto the track again. So, but $115,657, and
that's
it is
awesome.
Yeah.
2
That's
weeks
awesome.
into the month of August. And it is 2 weeks into the month of October.
Well done to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Going into the winners for the event, I'm just going to list the winners across each category. And for junior bike, it was Cooper Plummer. Junior dragster, Jake McNamara. Super street, we had Michael Jennings. Super sedan, Darren Russell. Super gas, John Moyes. Modified bike, Dean Jameson. Modified, Derek Willis. In super comp, it was Peter Pisolaridis.
Was that super comp or comp?
Super comp, winning over Connor McClure.
Connor McClure. And Connor also ran the quickest door slam or sedan small block pass, I believe, outside of the USA with a 6:07 or 6:09, somewhere around there. Maybe even quicker. Someone said 6:05 today, but I don't know if you got any results.
I saw a statement that was made on Drag News actually, but it didn't have a time. It didn't have a time for that.
It was a 6-0 something. In the final, the car slowed.
It did. It only ran a 6.6666.
Interesting to point out that both the finalists were AA APIA cars.
Yeah.
So both 2 turbo cars in the finals.
Yes, Connor running a 6.66 against Peter's 6.37.
Oh, did Pete go a 37?
Yeah,
There you go.
6.37 with a 3 at 217 mile an hour.
There you go.
Comp bike was actually run in Chicago shootout format, and Rob Cassar took the win over Tyson Bird-Balek. In top sportsman, David Foster had the win thanks to a red light. Supercharged Outlaws. Well, we've spoken about Connor. We should speak about Casey as well. And
Yes, she was in the finals also.
Casey was in the finals. And looking at these results, I had to go in and look a bit further because Casey is a strong contender, and it is not often that. Well, it's not often that she comes in a runner-up position, but it's not often that she's that far off her dial-in either. So she had dialed in a 7:14. She broke out running a 7:05. Now, what makes this even more painful is that Darren Astell, he had a .345 reaction time.
Wow.
And I just was like, oh, that is when side mirrors would come in handy, isn't it? Because, of course, Casey's the slower car. She's left first, and do I bring it up? God, I have to. I've lost backing off before when I've been out in front.
Yeah.
They had the faster mile per hour.
Are you
and
allowed to
caught me
run
right at the end.
mirrors in Group 3?
I don't know.
You're not allowed to run radios, are you?
I'm not sure about the mirrors. Maybe not sticking out the sides, but just want to check your makeup. It's Penelope.
There you go.
Penelope pit stop style.
Penelope.
But
Jeez, I don't know how many people would know the reference to Penelope pit stop.
I wish I knew more about wacky races, because I was always told about my car, like being pink. Oh, Penelope pit stop, right? And, you know, I've spoken to you guys about never wanting to really nickname my car.
Yeah.
Well, Penelope pit stop, her car was called the Compact Pussycat. Like, what a name. That's cool. That's cool. The Compact Pussycat.
I didn't know that.
No, I don't remember. I do remember Wacky Race as well, but I don't remember. I remember Penelope Pit Stop.
And Dastardly.
Yeah, Dastardly.
Dick Dastardly?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And Muttley?
Muttley.
Yep.
Where did he laugh?
And there was
actually a junior dragster at Perth Motorplex a few years ago, and it had all the characters on there. I can't recall who was driving it at the time, but you know, side mirrors, it would come in handy.
The Mafia guys too, yeah? Was that in there?
I don't remember that.
No?
Nah.
I'm going to check that out.
Yeah.
Why are you doing that? 606 at 235 mile an hour for the McClures.
Oh, there you go.
606,
there you go.
right.
606 at 235.
Australia's quickest small block sedan.
Yes, correct.
So when did they run that? In qualifying?
Yeah.
Correct.
But slowed down quite a bit. Did they have some
I think they
troubles,
only
or did
slowed on that last pass. I'm not sure. I haven't spoken to him about it. He sent me a text when they ran. It may have been the 606. It was the Facebook post, like a screenshot of the Facebook post.
Oh, right.
So, you know, look, to make the finals, both of them, you know, is a huge achievement.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to run that quick. I mean, the car that they're racing in the final is a genuine double A car. Their car's a double B car that they run in double A.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a top effort.
Yeah.
McClure's always, you know, striving to be the best.
Yeah.
So
It's looking closely at Casey's times for her previous elimination rounds, once I was trying to work out why the car would have ran so much quicker against their dial-in, because I think I've told you guys before, Trent had a conversation with one of her crew guys at the trophy presentations one time, and she'd broken out, and Trent made the comment like, oh, you know, you didn't have to run it that close. Like she would have had it at the start line. You didn't have to run that close on the dial-in. And that's been like my modified dream, to have my reaction time so consistently good that Trent hasn't felt the pressure to have those dial-ins just at such a whisker all the time. But her car was, I wouldn't have liked to have had the job of dialing in, because it was really inconsistent. Every pass they're going slower than what they had dialed in, and every pass was going slower than the next. And then in the end, it ends up doing the fastest pass out of all elimination rounds.
Yeah, well, that's
And
sometimes
coincidentally enough, what they dialed in for their first elimination round, it ended up running.
Yeah.
that's the mafia car. Just in case you didn't believe me.
No, I believed you. I just didn't remember it. It's like it's going back in time.
Well, carrying on with the results in...
Hey, there's us.
Oh. You want to show the camera?
There's a dragster in there. Oh, well, you're not going to see it in the camera. I'm going to find the names. You guys carry on while I find the names of all.
Okay, well, in Pro Stock Bike, in the C final, Scott White took the win over Jason Lee. B final had Callum Gadesi take the win over Luke Crowley. And the A final had Tony Frost take the win over WA's Ryan Learmonth. In Pro Stock, the battle was on in the final against Chris Salado and Mario Polito, both aiming to chase down John Barbagallo in second place in the championship points. All Polito needed to do was accept the tree to lock in second. He managed to do that, but in the end he left too early, handing a red light win to Salados. In Pro Mod, Steve Carlson took the win over Adam Tassone, running a 5.88 to Tassone's 6.22. Zonga had the win against a broken NASA Matter in the B final, and John Zappia, who came out to play testing out the Pro Mod field, walked away with the C final win over Zach Nizvekic. Top Fuel. It wasn't a championship round for the Top Fuel class. Some might say that they were there to put on a show for the drag racing fans, but in the A final, there might have been an ulterior motive with the Rapisada boys trying to chase down each other for who could get the best ET of the night. And Damien Harris did set the new speed record earlier in the day, and in the end he had a solo pass for the B final, running a 3.756 at 331 with a 2.5 mile per hour. And in the A final, Wayne Newby took the win over Phil Lamantina. Wayne Newby ran a 3.72 with a 4 at 332 mile per hour. And that is all for the Spring Nationals at Taylor Bend.
Like a great event.
It was really great, and I suppose we should mention, I didn't have it in the notes here, but how good was Alan Reinhardt on the mic?
Oh, yeah.
So good.
Did we made mention of
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be the last we see and hear from him. He was doing his plugs to, when am I going to be back, and if you want me back, and I'll come back, and... ready to book his next plane tickets, I reckon.
It was pretty cool, and the little snippets that he put out on social media were pretty cool too.
Oh, I actually didn't see that. I don't think I'm following him. I'll have to grab. I think it was just, he's got some of his iconic little sayings that he says, and then but then going into some more technical detail, really educating the fans. Like that's just his complete package with it all. I thought it was really great. It seemed like all of the commentary team, the whole commentary team really like bounced off each other really well.
Did he let straight to the top? Did he let that
I didn't
rip?
hear the to the top. And I didn't hear any kablooies, which, like, unfortunately, there were a few
Kabuis.
a few kablooies, but no, I didn't hear any runs to the top. That's definitely my favourite.
I would have thought that he would have gone cap in hand back to the NHRA, but
well,
nah.
he did the Lucas Oil Sportsman event.
Yeah.
He might be a bit tail between his legs. I don't know.
Everyone makes mistakes.
I think you just there's obviously I'm not sure whether I haven't seen any more since he did that event. Remember, we spoke about it because it wasn't long after his departure from the
It's
IHRA.
just, he went from being the voice of the NHRA to...
But Brian's doing a magnificent job. I love it.
He
mate,
is.
you know how long I've been a fan of his.
He's a new voice, and that's all there is to it.
It's just that the transition, you know...
it wasn't, but that wasn't Brian's doing. It wasn't the NHRA's doing.
The commentary team, in my opinion, of Brian Loams and
Tony
is the best.
Yeah. Again, people challenging, and I love. I mean, we're talking about old news here. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I love how Erica challenged Tony and Brian a couple of weeks ago. I love that.
She had full force.
Yeah, she had full force. She had every right to say what she said.
Yep.
And Tony had every right, and Brian had every right to have that view as well.
Well, the big problem is because you've got gambling now.
Yeah.
It was interesting because it was spoken about on the NHRA Insider before that event, right? And
after.
And after. But it was spoken about before it. But how Erica reacted was as if it was said to her the first time.
Yeah.
I'm not sure maybe whether it was because of that or because it was on live television. And they had her in the commentary box the next day. And she actually said, to be called up on like that on live television, my emotions kind of got the best of me, but I needed to let it all out.
She had her sunglasses on from memory.
You could hear the emotion in her voice. You could hear that she was fighting back some tears.
I'm proud of her for doing that. I really am,
for sure.
I'm tired of drivers, and that's why I'm so proud of Brody.
100%.
That's why I'm tired of drivers and like Cam Waters.
We're all friends here.
We're like Cam Waters. I don't see the issue. We're going okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
You didn't see the issue till the next day when
you guys
finished
can have another 10
last. I love the fact that she challenged one of the biggest names in Nitro Funny Car over the years, Tony.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Tony stood his ground as well.
And even to have the calls back on him, though, like challenge going against what he'd said, but then she said, like, well, what about Dallas Glenn? Did he hand me the win? Or did I had him and I had him on the start and all that.
And Brian's, I always thought Brian was a bit of a people's pleaser or someone that would...
No, not...
And Brian stood firm on his position as well. And I like that. I like that too.
But they have to be now, Nick, because there's gambling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't make the people that are taking the bets think... because your odds are going to suffer. You know what I mean? If they know, well, you can't give good odds to Erica because they're going to throw a race. They're going to give her a bone. Pardon the expression.
Well, she's told you that's not the case, and
that's
all we need to know. And
right.
when Erica speaks, I'll tell you what, I listen.
She's not on the Vance and Hines team.
When Erica speaks, I listen. Erica, if you're listening, she's probably not. But if you are
I listen to you. Can you listen to me?
We would love to have Erica on this. How cool would that be?
Yeah.
That'd be cool. That would be cool. Well,
I think there's plenty of NHRA guys and girls you could get on.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Yep.
I think it's just a matter of reaching out to them.
No, their off season's coming up.
It is. Yep.
Might be time to make a few phone calls. Well, let's continue on with the NHRA Texas Fall Nationals. They were ran on the weekend from October 8th to the 12th at the Texas Motorplex, part of the Texas Stampede of Speed.
Stampede of Speed.
I feel like I even started talking with a bit of an accent.
Had a twang. Had a twang going on.
I don't know if I was feel that on.
Howdy.
I said to Trent today, it's something about, I was actually saying about Steve Torrance, like he was speaking so well, the accent, he speaks so well, so clean.
Yeah.
But then the accent is so loose and casual that it just sounds so cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, I wish I could speak so professional and well while just still throwing it around and it just all rolling together. I like. Well,
you would have liked that movie then, because there was a lot of twang in that, that movie.
I think some of it needed a bit more voice coaching for that one. But kicking it off in qualifying, Sean Langdon topped the Top Fuel ladder with a 3.684, while Sean Reid ran a 3.685, and Justin Ashley's 3.688 were only slightly behind.
In funny car, Austin Prock and the Prock Rocket took number one with a 3.876 ahead of Ron Caps's 3.889, and Fast Jack Beckman finished out the top three with a 3.892.
Pro Stock saw the old man Greg Anderson top the ladder again with a 6.49 with a 7, with teammate Corey Reid in second spot on a 6.50 with a 4. Teammate Dallas Glenn in third with a 6.507.
No surprises which team was number one in Pro Stock Bike. None other than Vance and Vance and Hines, with Richard Gratson running a 6.747, followed by Gage Herrera with a 6.752, and Braden Davies with a 6.771. All Vance and Hines bikes.
In eliminations, Doug Coletta faced off against a tyre-smoking Jasmine Salinas in round 1, took down Ida Zetterstrom in round 2, and a tyre-smoking teammate, Sean Langdon, in round 3 to face Steve Torrance in the final.
While Steve, racing at the track he calls home, took out Josh Hart in a close race in round 1, both cars lifting early, a tyre-smoking Sean Reid in round 2. Then, after completing her burnout, round 3 competitor Brittany Force's car quit on her, handing the win to Torrance. And I believe that there was some banter about whether she got out in or out of the car, but you watched it, and she stayed in the car. Yeah,
so her car actually shut down at the end of her burnout, or possibly even mid-burnout. Even the commentary team weren't quite sure on when it stopped. She still had her reverse gear actually go to signal and if to run back.
And they pushed it back to
They pushed it back, yeah. But what happened was the NHRA on the broadcast, they brought up a graphic on the screen, and it might have been like weather conditions or track conditions, something like that. And then you hear the commentary team say, "Oh, Brittany's out of the car."
Yeah.
But she just lifted the cockpit, lifted the canopy, and they pushed her back.
It'd be hot in there, I reckon, especially in Texas.
I mean, like, you'd be hot and bothered when that happens to you. I think you'd stay in it for an extra 4 seconds or so to get until you got it down the end of the track. But I think that she would have been pretty angry at that result, even more so because Justin Ashley was taken out. Justin Ashley, who is the number 2 on the points, Brittany put him on the trailer in the second round.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a good chance for her to.
Has she won an event this season?
I
don't know if she has, hey?
No, I think she's won one.
She has.
It's been a mile an hour.
Yeah, she's been smashing those grub
and I think that's what I'm seeing the images in my mind of when I've seen her up with things, but I think it's been a lot to do with the mile per hour. But I know that I'm sure she's won.
She has definitely smashed the mile an hour record.
Yeah,
there's no questioning that.
So yes, then In the final, Steve Torrance left on Doug with an 0.63 to Doug's 0.79, but that Alan Johnson horsepower was too much for the Capco boys, with Doug Coletta taking the win with a 3.777 to Steve-O's 3.874.
In funny car, Austin Prock took down Blake Alexander in round 1, a tyre-smoking Spencer Hyde in round 2, and Payne outrun Chad Green in round 3 to face off with Ron Capps in the final.
Ron faced off against a tyre-smoking Alex Laughlin. Side note, that's actually his last race in the car for the season. Buddy Hull's returning for Vegas for the next round after he had his time off. We did mention about his hand injury, but we couldn't find at the time when it was injured because he was still continuing racing. They mentioned that it was actually in Sonoma.
Okay.
So whether it's one of those...
He's a fireman, yeah? Is that right?
I don't know. He's got a smile like one, that's for sure.
Okay.
He's got a nice smile.
Do firemen have a particular smile?
They do it on the calendars. What do you mean?
Oh,
yes, I was going to say I'm going to buy Trent some yellow.
Go there, but
Yellow.
All of the firemen on my calendars.
And the ladder.
What do you mean?
One of those red hats.
Oh, why?
We've got to do that for Christmas.
To myself. Why do I do this? So Alex Laughlin, his last race was in Texas for this season. But Ron faced off against Alex. Alex banged the blower at around 800 feet.
I think, I wrote that a bit weird, but I think Alex smoked the tyres and Ron Capps banged the blower. That's why they were both down on...
Oh, right, because then this is when Ron was actually really beating himself up afterwards, because he said, in qualifying, I wouldn't have stayed in it. He said, I failed at pull against and I should have lifted. I should have just came off against it. He stayed in it, ended up really with a really big bang. And he said, I didn't know that Alex was still sitting back there. But he said, we've got the Carlisle body in the truck that you didn't get to see at the last event, so we're going to put that on for you for now.
Those bodies are like $100,000 US.
75 grand, they said. They actually said that at the last event, and I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, because it's a carbon body, and then you've got the titanium tree, then you've got the tin work. Sorry?
Don't forget the tethers.
The tethers.
Add a couple of bucks on for those.
I can imagine. It adds up,
big.
I can see that adding up. Yeah.
Something...
That's why a lot of people say it's not viable in Australia. Because that's 150 grand.
And the Supra headlights.
I know now why you don't want to blow them off. Stickers.
No, they're stickers, Nick. They're stickers.
I know.
Stickers.
I'll tell you a funny story.
I just went to Lightning McQueen then, which how they call them, stickers?
I was at the track with one of my friends. This is years ago. We were, teenagers. And this was when Zap had the old rat.
Yeah.
Right? And he said, hey, tell Zap his headlights are on. It's like, what? And he goes, he'll flatten the battery. I said, it's a sticker.
Oh, he was actually being serious?
He was being serious.
On the shovel nose, you're talking about
they
the
were
shovel
photos,
nose.
yeah.
Photos with the headlight, but the headlight was on.
They were on.
I thought that it was just...
No, he wasn't joking.
He was talking about the shovel nose one, right?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
It looked like the headlights were on. That is so funny. It must have been a pretty good photo image of it then.
They were pretty good photos.
They were.
I don't even think the front end was on the car. I think it was next to the car.
So, continuing back on, Ron Capps in round 2 was up against a late leaving and tyre smoking Cruz Pedregon, and in the third round, Ron defeated Daniel Wilkinson on a hole shot. In
the finals, Proc left on Capps, but not by much. An 0.68 to an 0.74. But at 100 feet, Capps' chutes deployed, slowing the car and handing the win to John Force Racing and Austin Proc for his 9th win of the season.
9th, wowza. So I actually saw that pass, and I saw all of the passes, to be honest, but have you, not to put you on the spot, have you seen the run?
No, I haven't, but
I can't tell because it only looked like one parachute came out. So on the NHRA website, it said, unsure what the issue was,
Yep.
why the parachute deployed.
Ron
but whether
used
it's
to pack his own chutes, so if he still does, he's got no one to blame but himself.
Yeah. Well, it makes me think that it's a pin issue, because if it was the auto sensor,
They should have
setting
both
something
come
off,
out.
they should have both came off. And
you'd be surprised. Like, I don't know if they did any damage, but I had a friend of mine in the US in a pro mod car who had them deploy early, and he stayed on it. And the amount of damage it did to the motor was phenomenal.
I've seen a run where someone's really tried to, and I was like, surely you can feel that something's holding you back. It better have been in the finals, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to.
Yeah, but you know what? You've been in that position where it's like,
you would have a big red light in your face saying like, shut it off. Yeah, he would have been kicking himself after then having that big blow up as well. He would have just been ready to call it a night, not going out to any rodeo after that. In pro stock, Dallas Glenn drove around a massive hole shot from Cody Coughlin, a 016 in the losing lane, to a 044 on Dallas's side. Geez, you've written that strange.
Hey, I did a better job than Chad did. So.
Nothing against Chad. No, who's Chad? No.
Well, it was a massive hole shot.
In the losing lane to a 044 on Dallas's side, Eric Slationo was the next victim, leaving the start line with an almost sundial time of 133 against Dallas's 044.
Did you like that one?
I don't even know what that means.
It was really slow. Come on, a 133 is slow. That's like
sundial.
Yeah, it was that slow you could measure it.
You
could measure it on a sundial.
I
thought that was funny.
It was funny.
It is.
Cheerio
Did you
to
make
Eric
it up?
Latino, by the way. We love Eric Latino.
Yes, we do, and everything that he does for the sport.
Did you make
He's
it
been
up,
around.
that saying, or are you just trying to go head to head with Alan Reinhart for some wacky goals?
Straight to the top.
You're going to make your own list now.
Well, I think I've used the sundial for a while.
Yeah.
I haven't heard you say that. The sundial time of 133 against Dallas's 044, and in the third round, Dallas made it a Coughlin box set, trailering Jack Coughlin, Jeggy leaving first with a 011 to Dallas's 047, but shaking the tyres at the 60-foot mark and handing Dallas the win.
Oh, do you like that one?
Thank you.
Coughlin box
Thank
set?
I'm thinking, why did you do this? You know what? This hadn't hit my emails like an hour before we were due here. I'm not sure if
I had a terrible day. Okay, I had a terrible day. I was, like I said earlier, that the house got broken into.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was there with some people, and then I was meant to pick up a motorcycle this afternoon, and I'm not going to go into. I got dropped off there. And I'm not going to go into what I saw, but I said to the guy, maybe I should come back tomorrow.
Oh.
So it just got later and later and later. And as we all know, the race finished at 5 o'clock our time this morning.
Yeah, well, it's, And NASCAR was even later because that was a Vegas race. That was late.
But I'm just saying, for someone who actually watched all of the racing, I am very confused by the way you've written these notes. So I'm speaking it as I see it.
Anyway, on the other side of the tree, Aaron Stanfield whole shot at teammate Erica Enders in round one. Did he? Round two saw Aaron take out KB Titans Matt Hartford. Matt going red, very red, with a negative 064 light. The light flickering because of how shallow he was trying to put the car. And in round three, Stanfield took out the master of the class, Greg Anderson, with a wire-to-wire run. 027 to Greg's 049 and a 6614 to Greg's 6632 in arguably the biggest pro stock upset of the season.
But it was the KB Titan racing team that got the last laugh. Aaron left first with a 024 to Dallas's 034, but the KB Titan horsepower was too much for the elite team. Dallas's 6605 to Stanfield's 6622. The margin of victory, 7 thousandths of a second, or about 2 feet.
They have found some horsepower, the elite team. Don't you reckon?
Oh, yeah.
They've started to come good.
Thinking about the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were nowhere.
It's like they had plug leads off.
Yeah.
The thing, but Dallas has been so good this season, right? He has been really good, but we have not seen that 00 Dallas that we used to.
No, it's yeah, but he had a couple of reds as well. So do you think that he felt like
didn't need to go
he
00?
didn't need to go 00?
That KB Titan horsepower there.
Maybe, yeah, they might be chasing.
In the bike category, Richard Gadsden raced bottom qualifier Lance Bonham. This was a give-me race with Lance running a 720 to Gadsden's 675. Wow. Sorry?
Well, I just said, wow.
Yeah, his qualifying was like really,
I think actually they had there was no bump for Pro Stock Bike.
It was only 16 bikes. So there was a lot of slow ones in the bottom.
He might have had trouble with qualifying as well.
Well, Gadsden could have left on the next pairing line and still won.
Oh, yeah.
Was that too much?
I don't know Lance Bonham, but cheerio, Lance.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
I don't think he'll be a fan of the podcast.
No, but come on, that's half a second.
If you do meet him, just tell him you're not friends with Simon.
He's probably a really nice guy, and being out there is, that would be awesome. I mean, hey, I raced a whole season of Door Slam and went all around the country and never qualified once. So
you know what?
He's doing better than me. But I don't think I was a half a second behind either.
No.
Anyway, where was I?
Gadsden could have left on the next pairing line and still won.
Yeah. Clayton Howie was the. I'm trying to get Tony's job. Clayton Howie was the next to be sent home by Gadsden. And even Matt Smith tried his hardest with an 016 to Gadsden's 032 light. But the Vance and Hines unparity horsepower was too much for the poor old V-twin of Smith, with a 6.183 to a losing 6.87 in Matt's lane.
Pro Stock standout Braden Davis trailered Ryan O'Lear's V-twin in round 1. John Hall's 003 light wasn't enough to stop the Vance and Hines horsepower, with Davis running a early
lifting.
Oh, okay. An early lifting 6816 to Hall's 6867. In round 3, Braden met up with the champ Gage Herrera. Gage's 4 wins to 0, but Gage trying to make it 5-0 went red, 005 red, after a bit of start line games against Brandon and Gage.
That's the only time he seems to lose.
Well, yeah, I thought, ooh, already. He's really doing well, Braden.
He made the countdown.
He did, yeah.
You know what I mean? That's incredible.
And he did. Braden did have as much as Gage Redley. Braden did have the quicker pass.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah, but you got to.
So he went all round.
These guys, they're playing the sandbag game. I'm telling you, it's there's parity. This is like the Mustangs and the Camaros. Anyway, in the final, Gadsden left first with a 011 to Davies 031 and never looked back, running a massive 6796 to Davies 6817, showing the world just how much sand those Vance and Hines bikes are carrying, and that parity, just like the V8 supercars. It's the parity is linked directly to the checkbook in the winning team's hands. Anyway.
And wrapping up the championship points, the current standings for Pro Stock Motorcycle. Richard Gadsden's in first place, Gage Herrera in second, with Matt Smith in third.
What's the point split there?
Gay is 72 points behind Richard Gadsden, 105 points. Matt Smith's 105 points.
So that's 2.5, nearly 3 rounds.
And don't forget that Pomona's points and a half.
4 rounds. 77. That's 4 rounds. It's 20 points a round, yeah?
Yeah, but as Michelle pointed out, the final
Points and a half
Pomona's
for the-
points and a half.
Yeah, but there's 2 more events.
Vegas and then Pomona.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I didn't realise Gadsden had gotten that far in front. There you go.
Since the countdown, or whatever you countdown? Is it the countdown?
The countdown.
The countdown.
Yeah, he's
whatever
been
you
going-
call
Whatever
it.
you
Whatever you call it.
Whatever you
Whatever
drag
we
racing
call
fans.
it. Whatever we call it.
Whatever you drag racing fans. Just wait until we get to NASCAR.
well,
and we'll start
I'm
talking
against
about
it
your
in
countdown.
NASCAR as well.
Yeah,
but-
what do you
No,
use
but-
NASCAR people?
I'm against the whole finals. This.
Aren't they going to do something like this for the V8s next season?
They're doing it now.
Oh, they're doing
I'm
it
against
now.
it for that as well. It's ridiculous. It's puerile.
So, but have they got 10 races, the V8s?
They've got 13 this year.
Well, bringing it back to the NHRA Championship points, in Pro Stock, Dallas Glenn has the lead, followed by Greg Anderson and Matt Hartford.
What's the split?
60 points behind for Greg Anderson, 225 points behind for Matt Hartford.
3 rounds.
It's not much. It's not much. For Funny Car, Austin Prock has the lead. Bit more of a lengthy lead with this one. Matt Hagan is 112 points behind.
We can still get him.
Jack Beckman, 131 points behind. Now, I did have some side notes to make on this. Matt Hagan, he was actually out in the first round.
Yes.
He lost against Paul Lee.
And in the Insider, they made a point of, if you're going to make a challenge, you need, you can't be going out in the first round.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And for Matt Hagan, second in the points, to be out in the first round, come top fuel. Justin Ashley, second in the points. He's on the trailer in round 2. It's just extending those leads for the points leader. Also wanted to make mention here, Jack Beckman. He had a time discrepancy in the 4th qualifier. Now, Mike wasn't on him. Camera was on him. And he's a guy that talks with a lot of expression.
Yeah.
And he was very confused about his time slip. And it was saying that he ran like a 4-second pass, but his 60-foot time was like a 0.16 or something. And he's like, the calculations don't add up. And in the commentary box, they're like, I can't work it out. Like, let's find out what he's saying. They've interviewed him, and they're saying, the announcer actually said, I don't know what to say. Can you tell me what you're thinking? And he's like, well, I've got a time slip that doesn't make any sense. It's not possible that I can have this time at 60 foot, but then run this time. He said, in the championships, 2-point bonus for qualifying.
Yep.
That could really make or break when it gets so close like this in the countdown.
And in qualifying position too can change who you're racing and change the outcome of the event.
Yeah, absolutely. But he said, but we're just going to go out and go again and get fast and all of this. In the end, NHRA decided not to award any qualifying points for Funny Car for qualifying round 4. So apparently that's something that they've done. They do. I just haven't seen it been done before, but I thought that's good. They was.
If your 60 foot was slow, and the rest of the incrementals look right, then something may have triggered the guard beam, or whatever, and that would then.
Yeah, but his 60 foot was fast. Didn't you say 0.1?
No, his 60 foot was slow.
What was his 60 foot again?
0.106.
106.
Yeah.
Compared to like 886.
Oh, one.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
you said a 0.1.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then you take.
No, a 0.1.
Yeah, it's 0.1.
what-
That's
0.1. I've done.
that's impossible to
Yeah,
get.
0.1, but then it would be the other way around.
Yeah.
It would be
But a slow 60 foot with a...
No, sorry. A 1...
Yeah, 1.0.
A 106.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
When
is it
usually
possible...
he would be like 0.08.
0.8 something or point...
0.8.
Yeah, 0.8 something, high 0.8.
Is it wheel standing?
No, it you know, it could be a bit of dirt, could be a fly that flew in front of it.
No, but that
you
would,
don't know.
the car would have... It wouldn't be slow. It would be quick. The 60 foot would be quick.
No, what happens is if it... you're saying... I understand what
If
you're
something
saying.
breaks it before the car does,
Yeah.
then it would be quicker.
Yeah, so, but...
If the beam's broken and the car's stationary,
Yeah.
the timer's started, the car hasn't moved yet.
I think what they were saying, I was trying to remember whether they were saying it about Jack Beckman's or whether it was another pass. I think what they were trying to decide on in the commentary box or like throw around is that like if the body's like flexed,
Yeah.
if the body's flexed off the launch and like that body's lifted and it's lifted to a point where then it's missed the beam at the front where it usually does. That was kind of what they were throwing around, but they couldn't.
Yeah, the beams at the start line trigger off the tyre.
No,
the beams
so
at the finish line.
The beams at 60 foot wouldn't trigger off the tyre. It
Yeah.
would trigger off the body.
No, they still trigger off the...
Yeah, but then
the
if
tyre,
there's possible...
the beams at the top end, if they've got enough downforce, the front of the car will flex and they may trigger off the spoiler.
But if your wheels...
You know, because with the wheels growing...
Yeah, but if your wheel stood over the 60 foot, it's quite possible.
They trigger
That
off the spoiler sometimes at Perth Motorplex too.
But the back wheel...
The end ones... Oh, yeah.
But what I'm saying is for the 60
You
foot...
know who we're talking about. I know you listen to this.
Hello, friend.
I know, it just worked that out.
Anyway.
Going into top fuel for the NHRA Championship points, Doug Coletta, he has a decent win for 141 points ahead of Justin Ashley, with Sean Langdon in third position, 159 points behind Doug. All points leaders advanced in their points lead after this round in Texas.
And,
All points leaders
and
won
all the
and
second,
advanced more.
the runners up.
Had a
went
not
out
so great
early
all except
or-
for Gage. Yeah.
Early-ish.
Yeah.
All right. There are two more races left. The next one being the Dodge Nevada Nationals at the Strip in Las Vegas, October 30th to November 2nd. This will be the wrap-up for Pro Mod. And then the final race of the year, which is worth 1.5 points, the In-N-Out Burger NHRA Finals, November 13th to November 16th at Pomona Drag Strip, California.
It's going to be a big one. Are we ready to put our bets? Some of them are pretty secure.
Oh,
but I think we
don't say
could-
Dougie. I don't want.
Oh,
I just don't want to hex him. The
it's-
poor guy.
Well, at what point did we put our bets in for last season?
Do you,
I think it was actually earlier than now, to be
Yeah,
honest.
Do you remember?
It is
Yeah,
getting
it was-
pretty.
the Tony Schumacher? Do you remember that?
Well, Tony had to, like, go
Tony had to.
Oh,
mile an hour. No, yeah.
yeah, had to then
Mile
set a
an
new
hour,
record.
ET.
Doug had to go out early.
Yeah.
He had to go. Tony had to win, set a new record,
Yeah.
take top mile an hour, top
Yeah.
ET, and to win by like 1 point, and he managed to do it.
Yeah, I think that happened in
That's
the 80s as
insane.
well. Jeb Allen, I think, did the same thing
Yeah.
in the 80s against...
Yeah, so I don't want to put the hex on him. Are we going to put bets? Are you going to record this like you did last time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You reckon Dallas Glenn has got it? Greg Anderson is...
Remember what happened last year?
yeah, but I said Greg last year.
You did, yeah.
Well, I know we've been talking about Dallas doing. Everyone's been talking about Dallas doing it.
Yeah, I think he's going to finish it strong. He's had such a good season all in all.
Gadsden,
Yeah, I
Gatson,
like
I'm backing
him.
him.
I really like him. He has a good energy
Yep.
about him. Seeing him in Gainesville.
Gage is a good kid too. I don't have any issues
No, I
with
don't.
them. I have the issue with the NHRA and the parity.
Yeah.
No, I just really like the energy that I saw from Richard Gatson at Gainesville.
Yeah, I'd say Gatson's going to do that.
And Austin,
Austin
Yeah,
Brock
Austin,
is
yeah,
that's
also
a
pretty
formality.
secured.
it's a formality.
in
That's a
that.
formality.
Gee, it's a bit sad that we're talking about it so deflated.
No, I just think that's a formality. And I would say Doug.
And Doug's pretty
In
much
top
got
field.
that time
Yeah.
up as well.
Yep. That's where I'd say
So that's it. That's
Yep.
it. Sure bets.
Well, keeping it in the US, let's hear about some NASCAR.
NASCAR from Las Vegas this week, just last night actually. Shane Van Gisbergen was honouring his country of origin this weekend with a paint scheme from his sponsor, Jockey. Jockey, who do underwear, sleepwear and sportswear for men and women. They got on board and painted the car, wrapped the car in the silver fern. So it looked awesome, actually, the car.
I thought the silver was for the girls.
Oh, I don't know. This is just special livery anyway. It was the silver fern.
Black fern
Silver
for the
fern.
boys, silver fur for the...
Oh, okay. I don't
Makes
know.
sense, Shane, Anyway.
Oh. Danny Hamlin ended up winning the race, securing his 60th career NASCAR win and a spot in the championship before. So he's locked into the four. The other drivers, I didn't put him in the notes here, but the other drivers that are still are in the top four at the moment. Chase Briscoe, Kyle Larson, and Christopher Bell are in there, but they can drop out. The ones that are in danger at the moment are William Byron, Chase Elliott, Joey Logano, and Ryan Blaney. There are two Penske Fords there, Joey Logano and Ryan Blaney. They started off the year so good, those guys, and they are not looking like going. So Joey Logano might not be going back to back. It was a pretty exciting race in the end. Won on tyre strategy. With a few laps, there was a late pit stop. A lot of guys took 2 for track position. Danny chose to take 4, and that was the wise choice in the end because 4 got him home. The guys that took 2 they good on the restart, but then they dropped like a balloon.
And they had track position on the restart.
Yeah, they did. So anyway, that was the tyre selection that going forward was the way to go. Some really big crashes here. The Ty Dillon and William Byron one was huge. It looked like Ty was just checking up to come into the pit. And William, it was too late. William just went straight into the back of him. But I haven't seen a crash like that for a while. Some significant damage to both cars. It was actually quite a violent crash. And then we saw Shane get taken out by, it was basically Christopher Bell who Christopher Bell finished the race, but he got tied up with a couple of other guys. William Byron as well, sorry. This was prior to the William Byron crash. So, yeah, that ended his... He was in 8th at the time, so he was running well.
Just, we didn't touch on this when we were talking about the V8s. What do you think about this lucky dog thing in the V8s now?
Oh, look, I don't mind it, but it does take away a little bit of excitement because we like the front runners getting around back markers as well. Adds a little bit of excitement to the race on the restart.
How does it go with the safety of what they're cleaning up on the track? That's the part that
So the lucky dog, their wave around is only issued as the safety car's coming in. So as the safety car turns the lights off and indicates that they'll be going green, the safety car will wave them around. So in Bathurst, it was coming down Conrod.
Yeah.
Wave them around. So they shoot off into the distance, but they probably only get to Mountain Straight.
No, that's like a 6-kilometre rate.
Yeah, so they don't make it around to the back of the grid. But yeah, no, the wave around is only done once the race is
Everything's
about to restart.
cleaned up.
Yep. Do you mind if I just drop in Radial versus the World?
Yeah, go for
No
it.
Mercy 16.
Yeah, you had some notes to add on.
Yeah,
on that.
I made some hand scratches here. I just caught the finals of Radial versus the World. Ken Quatuccio is an absolute legend. Won in the final against Travis, the Carolina Kid Harvey. It was an amazing final. It was Supercharger. Well, it was Screwcharger versus Pro Charger, both 69 Camaros. The Camaro that that Travis Harvey was in was Tommy Human's Camaro. So Ken Quatuccio ran a 3:49 with a 4 at 208 mile an hour. The kid ran a 3:54 with a 9 at 212 mile an hour, but had a massive explosion as he crossed the line. But Kenny got the job done. Kenny also wins the Radial Outlaw Racing Series. He secured that in the second round win in Radial versus the World. Another massive event to the Duck.
3:49.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It was incredible. Looks like the final may have been late in the evening, or quite late, or early in the morning.
Early in the morning.
Wasn't much of a crowd by the time. And I think
I'm sure there was a lot of crowd standing around the back of the car.
the back of the car was heaps of people. Interestingly, I think Ken had in the semi had engine problems. It looked like he got through in the semi, but it looked like he heard it in the semi. So there may have been a bit of a delay between the semi and the final as well. But congratulations to Ken. He just keeps winning in Radial versus the World. He's going places.
You know, when you said that about people standing at the back of the car, it just reminded me of something, and I thought, where is it in my notes that I wrote down? I saw something that I had never seen before at the NHRA's Texas event on the weekend. I need to check the name. Stephen, I saw a fire burn out.
Nick in the microphone. Look, you can see it. Look.
A fire burn out.
It's your pulse. A fire burnout.
A fire burnout. Yeah. Was
it exhibition?
It wasn't on purpose.
Oh.
Yeah. It was pretty. Do you want to see it? And then you can talk on? Because I've actually got the video, but I must have accidentally deleted in my notes. It'll say the name there.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. I don't think that was meant to happen.
Kind of looks cool, but right?
Was it in
like?
Was it fuel?
Yeah, it was in Top Fuel. He was the one that.
Ironically, the car has got a flame paint job by the looks of it.
He was the car that who cut off in front of Tony Stewart a few weeks ago. I've had a
NHRA. We go.
Yeah, it will say it. It will say it on.
Oh, this is different to the.
Kyle Sattenstein. Kyle Sattenstein.
Did he qualify?
Yes.
So that was eliminations.
It was in the first round against Sean Reid.
Results.
Incredible.
Wonder what happened.
Yeah, so at first the commentary, they said oil, but then it got cleaned up and evaporated quite well that they were saying fuel. But Kyle got out of the car at the end and he's standing up and he's still in the seat, but looking back and trying to figure out what actually happened as well. But I've never seen anything like that.
No, neither have I.
It was, wow. I think for the commentators there, they said for the first time for it to happen at Texas in 35 years.
Yeah, can't say I've seen that before.
Yeah.
So Kyle
Sattenstein.
Sattenstein, yeah. Yep. They got it in the notes.
You just reminded me when you said like people standing behind the car, because I thought, wow, if that threw any further.
Yeah, there you go. Car sideways.
Cars.
Trail, flaming fuel. So they're saying it's fuel.
Must be.
Yeah, they
Kept it off the wall. Did a great job driving. Really straight down the groove for a win. Sean Reid, that car's fast.
Yeah.
That car is fast.
Yep. Yeah, I think he'll have a strong season next year.
Yes.
We will see. We will
Yes.
see.
It's just the funding. All this stuff. You need the money.
Oh yeah, but there's a lot of people that are wanting to be coming out for Top Fuel next year. There's going to be a lot of people looking for funding. Obviously, Rick Ware buying Josh Hart's race team car. That was a bit unsure whether he's got the whole team coming across with him. But then Alex Laughlin's.
Has he got to drive?
Sorry, Aaron Stanfield is looking to license in Top Fuel as well.
Oh, really?
wow.
Eric Enders looking to go to Top Fuel.
Well, there was
so-
a rumour that Tony Stewart is taking her Top Fuel drive. Have you guys heard that?
No.
Yes, I feel like
I thought
we
you were
spoke about that last episode. I'm pretty
I
sure.
thought you were the
that's
one that
been
broke
said.
that.
Yeah, at first it was a bit when it was announced that Rick had bought it. He'd said, "Yeah, I've been trying to get onto Tony to drive for me," and then a few days later, it got announced that Tony Stewart was going to be. It's kind of seems like it's going to be a bit of a combined team.
Yep.
A team instance. So it hasn't really said.
This is Richard Freeman.
Yeah. Rick Ware.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was announced on Tony's.
You didn't know about this?
No, I knew he'd bought a Top Fuel team, but I didn't think he'd have Tony driving for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the rumour. What's the
No,
rumour?
well, that's
Yet to be confirmed.
That's confirmed.
It is happening.
Yeah, it was Tony Stewart that had released it on his
Tony's
socials.
wife wants her car back.
She wants her car back.
No, that's fair enough.
I'm just a bit confused on obviously Rick Ware. It's his own race team. Tony Stewart's got his own race team. So are we then going to have a combined race teams, or how's it going to work? Is it going to be like this scenario where it's like
let's look at it this way, right?
car owns that one, but driving for that one? We've got that in
NASCAR.
If you had
Danny Hamlin.
if you had Tony Stewart driving your Top Fuel operation, and you already, being Rick Ware, have a good Top Fuel operation, so you've proven that you can be at the track all the time, you can be competitive, you can win big races, which they have done. Clay Milliken's deal, right? Mm-hmm. How hard do you think it would be to sell the sponsorship, considering the fact that you've got Tony Stewart driving that car?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're going to have sponsors lined up to have their name on that car.
Yeah.
Because of the Tony Stewart effect.
And then it might come across that then you've got Tony Stewart driving for Rick Ware, and then you've got Leah Pruitt driving for
Tony Stewart.
Leah Pruitt Racing.
Leah Pruitt. Tony Stewart.
It might come across to be her as the naming team owner. I thought we'd just have a quick mention of the MotoGP, because there was
Did Marquez crash again?
Marquez is out now.
Marquez is out now, but
He's won the championship, but he'll be taking... It's the rest of the year, isn't it?
No,
the
he
next
said
two events
yeah.
they've said. So
Didn't want to come to Australia.
he was taken out in Indonesia by Bezdecki in the first lap on like the 7th corner, and just seeing them both go down, it was... I mean, it's lucky that he's got the championship secured,
Yeah,
but you think he
stitched
could
up,
walk
yeah.
away with it actually uninjured. But he's got a fractured shoulder, avoiding surgery, but he'll miss Malaysia and the Australian GP.
I'm telling you, if the championship was still at stake, he's on that bike.
Yeah.
He's on that bike. mate. Injury, no
Self-tapped
injury.
us holding his shoulder back.
Telling you now. If that championship is still open, he's on that bike. There's no way.
So now that he's off the bike, does every other team get the performance parts that he's been running for this season? Or
Well, it was rookie Vermin Aldiger who won, second youngest MotoGP event winner ever. second youngest. So that rookie victory is huge, and
What was he
we'll see
riding?
how much.
Don't know. I think they're all Ducatis now anyway, aren't they?
Ducati Cup. No, I don't
The
know.
Ducati Cup.
I missed that race, to be honest.
No, I just thought a big mention with Marc Marquez, obviously, just as
Yeah.
we said, hooray, he's got the championship and so great, amazing, and to secure it so early as well.
Yeah.
But, it's good that he's had
They
that.
don't run the countdown.
No, they
Just
don't.
wanted an extended
God.
off-season. No.
Anyway, looking forward to seeing more MotoGP.
More MotoGP
from Phillip Island.
That is an awesome... If you guys ever get the opportunity to go, it is incredible.
Yeah.
That is, like, I'll never forget that weekend that I spent there.
Amazing. Add it to the list. I was thinking of doing the Bathurst drive while I'm back there next month.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the drive, but can you imagine going and you get that weather?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, you'd be
Yeah.
howling, You'd be howling.
Because my kids at the beginning, they were like, "Where's this?" And I said, "It's in Sydney." It's was it 3 hours
Yeah.
from Sydney? Because they've been there with their mum and their nana,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Oh, so they were sort of interested." And then as the rain started to come in, I said, "Do you still want to go now?" "I don't know, Dad. It doesn't look like fun."
No. I'd like to do a road trip one day, but I'd like to drive over there.
Yeah, it looks
In the
really
XW.
nice.
Yeah, in the XW, yeah. I'm just going to finish it first. But anyway. We'll get there.
Well, I think that wraps up our
does, yeah,
episode,
we've almost gone
224.
2 hours on this one.
Yeah, you want to just go through the
Got some
coming
up
events?
The City of Kwinana Powerpalooza at the Perth Motorplex.
Did we work out whether there's going to be burnouts?
Yes.
There is going to be
there was
burnouts.
controversy on burnouts. We'll talk about that off air. Big
Yeah.
controversy.
So
on
there's
Yes.
going to be speedway and burnouts.
Speedway and Burnouts on October 18th. That is this weekend.
Yep.
The Kalgoorlie Desert Race is on the October 23rd until the 26th.
Yep. That's it. Just outside of it's about 20 minutes north of Kalgoorlie.
Kanauna.
Yeah, I don't know how to say that, but that's
You don't-
where it is.
I don't know
But
how to
it's 20
say it.
minutes north of Kalgoorlie. You head out there, it's
Kanauna?
going to be
Kanauna.
yeah,
Kanauna, that sounds right.
Yeah.
huge. And if you're in Kalgoorlie, make sure you support the event because all the cars park up in town on the 23rd, I think, or the 22nd of October.
That's awesome.
So all the kids can get around the cars.
30th of October, the Halloween event at Brookmount Park in Ellenbrook from 4 o'clock until 7 p.m. That's from...
30th or 31st?
31st.
Is that
31st.
Is that 885?
Yeah, that's 885. So come down and say hello to all the team.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Halloween.
Of 88.5 FM.
Had that date changed? Jimmy actually told me that it was the Thursday.
Oh, there you go.
But that was a few weeks ago, so...
I got this
From
off.
the recent email.
I got this off their
Website.
So
They told me the 30th, and because the Father's Day was ran on the Thursday as well, I thought that made sense.
When is Halloween?
The 31st,
31st.
The
which
31st.
is a Friday.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
we should check that.
Then we've got the sprint car, Westernopolis, and the WA speed car titles, which is November 1st. Then the Aeroflow All-Stars at Western Sydney, which is November 8th.
For the Nitro Nationals,
Yes, and you will be heading back over.
I'll be heading back.
So good luck
Heading
for
back
that
and
one.
Hopefully returning with the win.
The win.
Big smile on my
Yeah,
face.
a big trophy. And
I was
then
going to say Christmas tree, but I don't. It isn't a Christmas tree. It's actually something else,
I don't know.
right? I think it's a rocket.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that for us too, or just for the Nitro fields?
It's a good question.
Yeah, I think it might be a rocket, which would be pretty cool to
Yeah,
add to the mantelpiece.
definitely. We should,
Break up the Christmas trees a little.
we should have the secondary trophies like they do in the NHRA. What would you have for WA?
What do you
What
mean?
would be the second?
Sand groper.
You'd have a sand groper.
Yeah, I don't know. Something like that. I'm just trying to clarify this date for Halloween.
Northern Territory, Emu Export Cairns, South Australia.
They've put 31st on. They've put 31st in their email as well.
Yeah.
They'd said to me the Thursday when I went in for that interview.
Yeah.
But-
Anyway, let's what the got there. Anyway,
Well, yeah.
Did you want to clip and grab, or are we good?
Nah, we're good. We're good. Yeah. So, what would you have? Cockroaches
no,
from Melbourne.
it's terrible.
Like,
No, I thought you-
but
for
if
WA
if
would
we're
have-
going to be sand groupers, what's bad about cockroaches? Or is that
No,
just
that's-
not what that's not part of the
No, but
insects,
sand groper.
the-
No, but that's derogatory.
I don't know if I want to be either. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we need to come up with something better.
Okay.
Something
Yeah.
better.
What about like? Is it too pretty? What about like the black swan? Could get a nice.
Oh,
swan.
that'd be
with
cool.
Then fire coming off the wings. Did I take that too far? I just got right into that.
I think that'd be cool. That'd be very cool.
Yeah, I think the black swan. That's a nice.
Yeah.
Elegant.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
Okay.
Made of glass. Black glass. Done.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that would be really cool, like an actual hand-blown glass.
I was going to say
one.
crystal, but we'll settle for
Yeah,
glass.
glass.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Does
No.
anyone do that anymore?
I think
I
there's
think
some
so.
places
Glass?
down south.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You used to see it all the time at the markets. You go
Yeah.
around,
It's
like
amazing.
2 or 3 guys blowing glass now. No one does. I don't see anyone do it.
There's like a competition program that plays on Foxtel, one of the channels. And it's kind of like, I don't know, if you put it on the scheme of things, like Lego Masters or something like
Yeah.
that. They've got a criteria that they have to meet, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
This one where they make knives or something, isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh,
I've
yeah.
seen that one as well.
Not out of glass, though. Different.
No,
show,
not out of
different
glass.
show.
Not out of glass.
Different show.
And rounding out, we've got King of the Wings on November 15th.
We do, yep.
Well, it is, just looking at that event list, it's going to be no time until it's Christmas, is it?
Yes.
Give us your
Someone that doesn't have a lot of drag
holidays.
racing happening. My calendar's still full. How has that happened?
Mate.
How has that happened? Usually beginning of season for us, it's every fortnight as well.
Yeah.
So it takes up quite a bit. But it's, I don't think I've got much free time after all of that.
If you're listening as well, give us an idea for a Christmas podcast.
Yeah. Who
Christmas
should we have on?
podcast.
Give us some ideas.
Father Christmas.
We could have a guest, location.
All of the above.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Time to start.
Yeah, we normally
time to
do a
start
live
planning.
one, don't we?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we did last year. And you,
We did
from
the
my
year before.
understanding,
Yeah,
you did
Odin
the year
was-
before at the Italian club with the
Yes.
Prioli boys and
Yep.
The Odin was good, just really noisy.
Yeah, very noisy.
But
Yep.
we had a great
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
well, time to put your thinking caps on. But yes,
Let us
write
know.
in, send in, let us know where you want to hear us, who you
Yep.
want to hear us talking about too, asking all the questions.
Definitely.
Well, boys, that is all for another 2 weeks. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thanks, Michelle.
We'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
2
We
weeks.
will.
See you later.
Take care.